Captain Robertson with Bigwater Fishing. You know, you hopefully have seen our videos, shenanigans, podcasts, whatever it may be. Well, here's what we're doing now if you haven't seen. A project boat. Why would I buy a 20-year-old boat? I have no idea. But we really wanted to have a little tiller boat. They're kind of a cult-like following. They didn't make them that long. The Ranger 618. We took this just absolutely destroyed, tore up, hit, whatever you want to call it, smashed up boat, and we rebuilt this thing from top to bottom. So in part 10 of the project boat, we have gel coat repair and gel coating the lids. If you watch part 9, you saw that we redid our compartment lids, and we found out very quickly that gel coating, especially with black, was not going to work out, or at least to have it look really nice. So we called my buddy Tommy at Vic Sports Center and said, hey, what do we do here? So he quickly got a mutual friend, Drew, from CarStar over there in the Akron, Cleveland area together, and he came on site and basically showed us how to do this repair. Not only for the little holes that we had from the back hatches and some other just, damage, but also the actual lids themselves and getting that black gel coat put together. So stay tuned to this episode of the project boat because it's really neat to see, professionals work. And the big thing I've learned in this whole project is knowing when to have the professionals do it and where you can save money by doing things yourselves. And gel coat was something that I definitely would not suggest you dig into.
There's two. So on this black, I'm gonna run a little thicker pigment. So yeah, we're just gonna breathe it on. So I'm gonna go 75-25. What you see here, it's a little stickier. But the problem with stickier gel is the orange peel is a little more intense. So we're just prepping it with acetone. A lot of people use Windex and wax and grease remover. It's a urethane-based product, but acetone gets like your oils from your fingers off, which helps that gel coat bond a little better, and it evaporates really quickly too. So you don't have to sit here and wait for a flash. And using acetone is also compatible with gel coat, so it won't harm the finish. So if you have some like residue afterwards, it won't hurt anything. You just want to mix it real nice, scrape the sides, because sometimes there's a little portion of gel that doesn't get that activator on it, it'll screw you. Just sprayed these. This is a solid color, so getting the mixture down on these is real important. If you add too much hardener, it won't dry. If you put too much hardener in, it'll really cloud up. Looks like we hit these right on the spot, I think.
Yeah.
These just got sprayed 10 minutes ago and they're
dry.
They're already dry.
And did you put wax in that?
No wax. We use a product called Duratech.
Yep.
It brings the drying agents to the top, because what you want to do is you want to prevent air from getting to your gel to help it dry.
So since we had the boat over at Vic Sports Center and Drew was shooting, we figured, hey, why not fill in these holes? Because when we did the rear hatch, if you watched that video earlier, we made those nice hatches in the back so we could access the additional batteries that we were putting in. We had a bunch of holes there because we took that large piece of starboard off. And so cosmetically, but also obviously not wanting water to go in, and just to make that look really nice, we said, hey, let's fill in these holes.
So we usually blow it through the cardboard, and it's very sophisticated cardboard too. It's actually recycled. All we're doing is blowing it on the wet gel.
So we don't have to blow as big of an area. If we were in a truly sprayed flake, we'd be a lot bigger area.
And the biggest reason you see so much difference is you have a lot of shiny gel, and when we put clear to it, it'll actually transition it pretty.
Yeah.
And then once we had that all dry, they're actually just going to spray clear on a larger area, kind of like you would just on a car or anything else, so that blends in really well. And so we've got a really nice finished deal in there, a little bit of cleanup with a wheel, and all of a sudden that area looks literally brand new. So once we were done with the lids, we're going to reattach them. And basically, if you watch some of the earlier parts there, what we did is we actually used a little Scotch-Brite to clean up those hinges before we reattached them. And then what we did was we riveted those back on. And so we used the stainless rivet, the same exact size that was in there before that we had drilled out in a prior part of the project boat here. And then we're going to actually just attach those backs with the same screws into the physical boat itself. And that's pretty much all it is for the hatches themselves. You know, moving forward here, we're actually going to cover those up because obviously we got rid of the carpet. So make sure you stay tuned for that, because it's kind of a neat deal with the flooring, which we got coming in the next part. Definitely want to give a big thank you to Vic Sports Center, Tommy over there and the crew, always taking care of us, and this was no different. And definitely Drew from CarStar. I mean, without them, this doesn't get done and look as nice as it does. Again, through this whole process, we found like, hey, you know, we want to do a lot of the stuff that we can do on our own, but then at some point you got to call in the professionals when you need the professionals. And with Gelcoat, I would highly advise that you do that. So Captain Chip was amazing for kind of getting that whole thing started, but rolling that on or brushing it on was just not going to work, or at least not look very good. We didn't want to cut any corners. So big thanks to those guys, and hopefully you stay tuned, because while the project boat is winding down, we still got a bunch more for you.